that you're showing there is fresh and interesting, and I think the great thing is the guys on the workshop today, we've now got that inroad and engaged with you, because I think there's something there. I'm putting a first call out because I've been looking in your media pages for images, and I can't find those, so I'm going to come back to you on that. But I think some really useful stuff there. Fergus, there were some questions coming through in the chat.
Good point from Sarah. Do you want to just jump in the point you made about returning visitors?
Yeah, I've just noticed that so we don't have huge numbers of non-UK visitors, but that are coming back yet. But the ones that are, there seems to be a disproportionate percentage that are return, and it might be because of the stage my business is at, because I started 5-6 years ago. But I was wondering if there's any signals that you're picking up that people are maybe preferring to go somewhere that they're a bit familiar with rather than completely unfamiliar.
I have to say, it's not something I'm aware of, Sarah, but I'll certainly run it past our insights team and just really see if they've got any information around that, because they're looking at all this stuff, constantly. And we've also been running like a COVID-19 monitor as well, really just to try and establish, what is actually going on. So I can certainly take that back to the insights team and see if they've got any information.
Yeah, that'd be, because usually I've not tried to market back to international visitors because the chances of repeat are low, but it seems like there might be something there, and maybe that a collective marketing effort back to return visitors, because it's kind of going that come back and go deeper kind of message.
I'll just jump in here. So Europeans, there's about 2/3 that will come back. So if it's the European markets, those closer ones, they'll take a shorter break than longer haul ones. So it depends on the market. So rather than just treating it all as international, you could retarget some of the Europeans in terms of the 2/3. Depending on what's happening with Ukraine and things like that, Scotland is seen as a safer destination. We've seen that previously in terrorist attacks and things like that. So we do benefit, especially rural and that outdoor do benefit rather than the cities and things like that. So I think there's not that sort of, it'll be an exact, I think it's evolving depending on what your business is, where your audience is normally coming from and who they're traveling with.
I think the other interesting thing there, Steve, is the focus very much on the Generation Z, and it's something that we've been looking at for the outdoor strategy, but more into Generation Y as well. So it's sort of beyond the 34. There's not that definitive timeline of cutting them off, but I think it's fantastic, and the stuff that you're doing in terms of it's that younger audience that becomes the next generation, something that's there. So that's really, really good. I mean, I know you're in a tight deadline today. In terms of from the guys engaging with you, is it best through yourself and through the relationship managers? Or is that something you'll touch base on, Rona? Because I mean, I think we have, not everyone's here today, but we've got 100 fantastic adventure, marine wildlife and adventure businesses, which is the new market opportunity, I think, for Scotland and for people to do things.
The best point is through the IRM, because normally the industry relationship manager will then reach out and give them to who the points are, or it might be simply pointing them to the right direction for visitscotland.org. Otherwise, as you said previously, Visit Scotland is a big organisation, and you wouldn't want them to lose out on another opportunity within the organisation. So channeling it through the IRM is the best route. You may not end up with the answer from that IRM, but they'll know who can help them.
Great. Any other questions?
I think just to come in there as well, Stuart, my role, although my job title is Senior Regional Manager, I look after the regional marketing for the north of Scotland, but part of my role is also looking very specifically at outdoor and active and food and drink. So if there are specific queries around those that people want to run past me, then I'm happy to take those queries, simply because it's a big part of my role. And once the outdoor strategy is published, it'll be a bigger part of my role as well. So
Great. That's good.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's good to know. Because I've posted your contact details up in the chat.
That's fine. That's no bother at all. It's at the end of that slide deck as well. So
yeah, and the links that Steve was mentioning as well, I've posted the Word document up onto the chat as well, but they'll be on the website and by Friday. So all of that information links will be there. So that is really excellent. First class. I really enjoyed that. Fergus, sorry,
I think a big message I take from it is about get engaged with Visit Scotland and make these connections, let them know what you're doing and get involved in the socials so your content, you're improving your content with the reach that Visit Scotland have got, because it's obviously greater. And things that are happening, as Kev's just put up there in the chat about the Loch Ness Challenge in May, a biking ultra and 3 marathon challenge, which I know Stuart has got himself signed up for. So it's things like that. It's making sure that you're linking these types of events into Visit Scotland. And I'm sure they'll be aware of that one because that is quite a big one. We've seen quite a few posts about that coming through. Steve, I can only thank you very much. I mean,
not at all. Just to answer Kev's point there. I updated the cycling events blog post a couple of weeks ago, but I didn't pick up on that particular event, so I can certainly look at that. Not a problem at all. But thanks for sharing.
Thank you. So I appreciate the effort you put into that, Steve. I know you were maybe sort of slightly anxious about doing a presentation, but it was excellent. There you go. There's some good feedback for you.
Good.
So if we don't have any questions from the group at the moment, I think what we'll do now